Hey guys, Chuck Fasst coming at you again. Last Friday night I threw up a little vid. It was very late, shall we say, and that unedited little piece is going to be coming down. But anyway, I was trying to send a message out to Big Chief about his motor. Alright, Big Chief, stand up for that chief, that Pontiac. Yeah, me and Keeper are telling you, build that fucking Pontiac and take on the nation, man. Because I remember what I went through when I was in the Navy way back in the day. I got my parts and pieces from HO Racing Specialties down in San Diego, and I took that cylinder block and those connecting rods and that crankshaft in the trunk of my 69 GTO and brought them back up here to Portland. When I came back up here, I ruled this town. I beat everybody. And I have no doubt that a lot of you millennials have no idea how different his motor is than the others that are running in the cars out there. The GM corporate big block Chevy based motor, whereas Big Chief's is pure Pontiac. And there's quite a bit of difference going back, way back. I'll try to throw up some, see if I can throw up some shots of some of this. But it was a pure Pontiac motor that I ruled my town in, but that was over 35 years ago. And big money racing went away in my town back then, so I'm really surprised how it remained in some towns in this country. And I think it's pretty cool. A lot of you millennials are getting a chance to watch these guys go at it with these muscle cars. So the question is, will Big Chief stick with that Pontiac mill on his next build? What's he going to throw out there next, do you think? Another GTO? Or maybe a Firebird? He's already put the word out. Maybe I can grab a clip. He's going to come back with something, one way or the other, but I think he likes his motor. Personally, I think it's pretty cool that he's able to kick ass with that pure Pontiac motor over all these other corporate engines around in the nation. And he talks about the motor that he put together. It's pretty interesting. It's not that wild of a motor, so maybe I can grab a clip of that.
482 cubic inch traditional Pontiac motor. So not like a big Chief or a big block Chevrolet with Pontiac valve covers. It's a real old school Pontiac motor that's got Edelbrock Performer RPM cylinder heads. So I think those are $1,600 in jigs. You can build this whole engine. Butler Performance will sell you this kit. They sold me a kit and I assembled the engine. Literally a kit out of a magazine. They'll sell you this kit for 12 grand, intake to oil pan. Okay, it's got a $250 oil pan on it. There's nothing special with this combo. The specialness of the combo is the twin turbos, the big 88mm turbos.
But so that's the question. Which way is it going to go, Big Chief? What do you guys think? So guys, my footage is shot with standard definition SD camera. It's an old Sony that I picked up about 4 years ago on the island of Diego Garcia. That is a relatively unknown island out in the middle of the Indian Ocean where I was stationed working for the Military Sealift Command, and I wanted to document our life out there, which is a pretty crazy one. On this island that time forgot. But anyway, it's been a good old camera and it's hung in there. It's done everything I've asked of it. So anyway, I like it. There's an old adage us old timers used to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It wasn't that long ago that standard definition was the benchmark for YouTube. You know, but progress moves along and now everybody wants to see HD. Well, we'll see what we can do over the off season. But you know, with the earnings us YouTube partners get by doing this sort of thing, I've said before that it's measured in nickels and dimes, but I've since found that when you go viral with one, be ready to start earning fractions of pennies, because that is how it seems to work. It's not right, and it's too bad. I haven't figured out why yet, but we also have no control over the ads that get served on our vids, so hopefully there's some good ones that you guys would like to watch. I know there are sometimes, and so much for that. We'll try to throw up some clips and maybe some footage to kind of just give you a general look at this story. So let's see what those guys come back with. And now let me say this about the Pontiac. These Pontiacs, they date way back to the 60s, the 389s that came out in the first GTOs. Back then the big block Chevys were 396s and all the Chevelles and Camaros and such. And even beyond those 389s, it's smaller motors that were first V8s made under the Pontiac nameplate. You know, since then the Chevrolet came out with the big block, which is a completely and totally different engine from their original 350 small blocks. It's based on the Mark V, I guess I call it, big block configuration, which in the beginning was a mystery motor. It actually had like a 409 head on it at the very beginning. But now, these big motors that you see them running out there are all based on the corporate GM Chevrolet big block, good old big block Chevy. And the Pontiac has never changed their block. They went all the way up to 455 cubic inches and same block. Same block as the original 389 and before. So that's what's cool about what Big Chief is running. The motor is actually smaller and lighter than the big block Chevy. And even his motor, maybe we can let him tell you, it's smaller cubic inches. So this is old school, and that guarantees this ain't gonna go viral out there, but just trying to tell you millennials, many of you fans of the show, there's a big difference between his motor and all the others out there. Now I will say that there has been some recent tuner action in our town here not too long ago. I hope I can find some kind of clip to show you guys. I don't know quite what to make of it. Some craziness. Definitely not organized street racing, but some kind of crazy hooning happening out here on one of our bridges late one night. Hopefully I can find that for you. Alright, Chuck Fasst out.
Of street racers shut down the upper deck of the Fremont Bridge over the weekend, and now police hope to make some arrests. Hundreds of people were stranded on the bridge, unable to move. Many called 911 as riders blocked traffic so others could do donuts or spin their tires across all lanes of the bridge. KGW's Chris Willis live under the bridge tonight. And Chris, this performance racing is becoming big business in Portland.
Yeah, it really is. We talked to the owner of one of the top performance shops today. He said some of these guys spend tens of thousands of dollars on their cars building horsepower. This is where it happened, upper deck of the Fremont Bridge. He also said there are legal ways to road race in Portland. This is not one of them. Police agree and say they're now looking at that video and hoping to make some arrests. It's like Fast and Furious on the upper deck of the Fremont Bridge. Road racers shutting down traffic, stopping in the middle of the road as hundreds of drivers are left stranded and unable to move. And with traffic at a standstill, the road racers take over, burning rubber and doing donuts in the middle of all lanes, squealing their tires out of control. Soon, motorcycles get in on it, then more cars, as this guy records the action, not too concerned about being identified. Performance shops say the horsepower is tough to control, but should always be done legally at the raceways around town.
I believe it's honestly really tough to do when you have all this horsepower, you know, at the touch of your foot. Yeah. It's definitely hard not to have that heavy foot and just stepping on and romping on it.
The performance shop at Rev Motorsports says a lot of these cars are built to exceed 300 and 400 horsepower. But there is legal racing offered at Portland International Raceway, where you can do even circuit training, and at the Woodburn drag strip too. All right, the guys at Rev Motorsports do not condone illegal road racing or any of this kind of thing for obvious reasons. Meantime, police say investigators in their traffic division are now looking at that video that you just saw. enhancing certain parts of it, looking at license plates, and they hope to make some arrests. Now back to you.
Thanks, Chris.
So I'm telling you, man, build it back up and take it across the nation. And kick their asses. And do it. Right, Keeper?